everyone, this is Eric, KJ4YZI with HamRadioConcepts, and I have a video review for you. I've had the pleasure of demoing the Apache Labs ANAN-200 Delta HF and 6-meter software-defined radio. This is a 100-watt software-defined radio. This is the big boy. This is the biggest model, and we're going to show you very basic here on the front and back, and then go right into the software. This is computer controlled with your desktop PC. Everything is controlled from the computer, so there's no knobs in the front. There's no. This isn't an FT450. This is pretty heavy. Comes roughly more than 10 pounds at least. Rack mount handles on the front. Aluminum chassis case here, which acts as part of the heat sink. This does get a little warm, so recommended by the manufacturer to install the rubber feet on the bottom to keep it above or off the ground or off the desk, so that way you have ventilation, proper ventilation underneath and throughout the back of the radio. So, power button here on the front. The LAN port. LAN port is where you connect this to the computer. Now, LAN port requires at least a 10 base T 100 meg Ethernet port. I would recommend, and it's been recommended, a gigabit router with a gigabit port on the back of your computer. You can plug this directly into your desktop or through a router. I have mine plugged through my router, which is a gigabit router, and it seemed to work fine. But you don't want to run this on a old NIC card that's only available 10 megs, or it's got to be 100 or a 1 gigabit card. And Cat 5 minimum, Cat 6 would be better. Patch cord from this to the router or the computer. Your key for CW key, your headphone jack, and your mic port. Now, you might look at this and say, hey, where do I plug in my FT450 desk mic to this, or my Heil headset? Well, there's adapters for this, for almost every kind of mic, for this radio to your mic. So you can shop online at Gigaparts, check out the mic adapters that you need for your mic. Headphones, you can put on your headphones, or you can use speakers, which I'm using in the video here shortly, so you can hear it. You can't hear it with headphones on in the video, so I got it hooked up to my computer speakers. So your power light way down here, okay? And so let me show you the back of this, and then we'll go right into it and show you exactly what it does and what it's capable of. Alright, so on the back you'll notice you have a good 8 BNC connectors on the back. My demonstration here, I'm only going to be connecting to antenna 1, and these are all BNC, so I'm going to use a BNC to a PL259 adapter cable to go to my MFJ auto tuner. You can hook up antennas 1, 2, and 3 to 3 separate antennas, as well as receive 2 and some other stuff here. To not confuse anybody, we're just going to be worrying about antenna 1. But your manual and the Yahoo groups online will show you exactly what you can do with all these, and support from the manufacturer as well. Accessory port down here for future accessories, as well as one thing that's dangerous: don't ever connect PTT out to ground. Don't do it. It says in there, do not short this to ground or the 10 megahertz into ground. Very important. You will burn the radio up. But this power adapter, the power cord here, comes with a fused power cord. You must have 13.8 volt plus 5% tolerance at a minimum of 30 amps to run this at 100% full tilt, 100 watts. Based online, what I've read and what I've seen, people are wondering, they have this and they have a 25, 28 amp power supply and they're not getting their full 100 watts, and they're blaming it on the radio. It's not. It was proven that you need 30 amps minimum solid drive to this in order to get your 100 watts out, because of the computer inside and the transceiver itself. So got to have your full power. Don't try running it on a 22 amp power supply and expect to get to 100 watts full out. It won't happen. So let's get right to it, and remember, keep this cool in the back. This with the feet on the bottom for the ventilation for the fan inside. Got to keep that open for proper ventilation. This does get a little warm over use. So let's hook it up and get right to the demonstration. Okay, so let's assume that you have the Power SDR software already installed, okay? And the first thing you're going to want to do is double click this. It's going to open a black DOS box on your screen, and it's going to say, please wait, do not close this window until the algorithm is finished. It's going to run some logics and some wizard to do something for the software in a computer. I'm not exactly sure what that's for, but you want to leave that open. Sometimes it takes longer than 10 minutes. And you'll see it counting memory and all that stuff. That's all part of the configuration. So for the purpose of this video, I already did that. So we'll double click the software and you'll see it pop up, and it takes a minute to load. Now, as far as computer resources, what I have, okay, and it's not the best, but what I have designated for my ham radio software and stuff is a AMD Athlon 64X2. The base clock is 2.6 gigahertz. I have it overclocked to 2.9. I have a NVIDIA GeForce GT 9800 XT video card, 4 gigs of memory, and 500 gig hard drive. That's pretty old compared to what this thing requires. The more, the better. If you really need an i3, i5, i7 to take full potential of this with multiple receivers running, recording, pan adapters at the same time, and yada yada. So from this demonstration, it should run okay with what I got. So you got the software open. A lot of cool stuff here. First, go ahead and go up to Setup here, and most of this should, right here on this main screen, should be pretty much pre-populated. ANAN-200, full network discovery, okay, and this is what you want it to say. Now, there's other things up here, audio, display, stuff like that. For the demonstration of this video, not to bore anybody and make it 2 hours long, I'm just going to set this the way it is. I'm going to click Apply and OK. I'm going to reach over, turn my radio on, and I'm going to click Power. The radio comes to life. Okay, it's turned on by this power button up here. Now, I have my speakers for my computer plugged into the actual SDR radio, and I have my mic plugged into the computer. So if I had headphones on, you wouldn't be able to hear it. I hope the audio will sound okay, being that I got computer speakers running in the room. So let's start off here with the software. VFOA up here is where the frequency is, where you're at in frequency. Now, what's cool about this is it'll tell you on the bottom here what portion of the band you're in. If I go to, say, 20 meters, over here on the right, you can, automatically band switch over here. It'll show me right now I'm on where I would talk on PSK. It shows me I'm 20 meter RTTY, in which down here is the mode. So I can go to digital mode upper sideband, which is what it's on. If I want to go to lower sideband, okay, I could switch to lower sideband. So I could just click this and type in 14.275. Okay, that's it. I'm in 20 meter sideband general class. If I chose to go to AM, I can click AM. It automatically sets the width of the AM signal or the width of the CW. Okay, this is CW upper sideband. It'll set the width, which is down here on the bottom right. And you can variate that with the sliders, make it wider, or you can pre-select a width here. So for demonstration, I can go to 40 meters, okay, which is where I'm tuned to right now. That would be lower sideband, and I can set my width here, how wide I want to receive or transmit. My shift left and right, all right, and just by clicking the mouse button, I can drag my VFO here. You notice the top up here, it's moving. I can drag my VFO marker here on the pan adapter here, okay? If I wanted to change the pan adapter screen or the display, I can go down here to this drop menu, and I can go to, say, waterfall, all right? Now I have a waterfall. Would be great for digital signals, PSK, RTTY, stuff like that. I can go to Panafall, and now I have my pan adapter and my waterfall together, okay? So you can see up here where, the activity is, and then you can see it on the waterfall at the same time. Pretty neat. So we'll go back down here to, well, we're in the phone portion now. And if I go down, it'll show me I'm now in an advanced or extra class sideband. And this would be general. And then if you keep going down, it'll show you you're in the CW mode. So very cool on the top left. It shows you what portion of the band you're in. And if you fired up VFOB, you can click on the, over here by the power button, you can click on the RX2. Now it's going to open up the second VFO. So now I have two receivers running at the same time. By clicking on this one, well, let's see, clicking on this one, I can go to 7.070. And over here, I could have it 7.123. So now I got 40 meter CW on the top, and I have 40 meter digital on the bottom. My signal meter up here on the top right, all right, and you can change your signal meter here. Your average signal, you know, your transmit meter, forward power, reflected power, SWR, all this you can change. You'll see this is, it's hard to touch on everything because it's exciting at one point and very intense in the other. So I'm just trying to go over a basic so you can see exactly what you can do. Over here on the left, you have your master volume here. All right, and you have your volume independently for receiver 1 and receiver 2. All right, your automatic gain control here, and your drive. Now this would be your power here. So all this is selectable by your sliders here. So let me just dumb this down here, as we call it. We'll go back to just the one receiver. We'll go back to pan adapter. All right, I'll turn this up. I want to see, hopefully you guys can hear this. All right, when I get a conversation, I'll make it a little bit better. So we'll start scrolling here. We'll go into now. What you can do is you can roll the mouse wheel on your mouse to actually advance or decrease the VFO. So your VFO is either by sliding this here, or you can use your mouse wheel, or you can simply band switch here and then type in the frequency you want. All right. Find a QSO here. Now you can change your step here. So we'll go 500 hertz. All right. Now, let me move this mic a little bit, see if you can hear this.
42 feet, so 42 foot boom, and but I don't know. It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to play with it. I can get the crane out here, and it won't cost me anything.
Now, what you'll notice, if I can hang my mic back here, there's a little bit of crackle in the audio, and that's due to my computer, the resources that it's requiring to run this. So don't think that it's the actual received quality, the little crackle that you hear. Okay, so now if I wanted to see that on a different chart here, I can go to, say, Panoscope. All right, now I can see the pan adapter and the scope here, if that's useful for you. I can go to histogram. All right, now I don't particularly use histogram and stuff like that, so I keep it simple. I just go to spectrum, pan adapter here. All right, and I can see the peaks up here, and the noise level would be the green line here. All right. Now you see I can raise that, which is pretty much my squelch. Not my squelch, but my AGC. Sorry, my automatic gain control. So I can bring this way down here if I want to. All right, I'll leave it about right here. All right.
Maybe 300 feet down. 300. The river is about 300 feet lower. So with the tower at 100.
So your squelch is down here. All right. Let's see. Well, the squelch ain't really working, but let's leave that alone for now. So now I can shift to the left or the right down here in the bottom. Left. Right. So useful for if you have a some QRM on an adjacent channel, say you know, to the right of this, if you're looking at it, I can shift it to the left. All right. Then I can shift it. I could also expand the width here if I want to.
I know you remember 9K2ZZ when he was over there. I built this antenna for him.
And you'll see up here, he's 5.9 plus 10 on the power meter here. Okay. So, what about transmit features? Well, we can go up here. Let's see if I can make this bigger here. Okay, that's full screen. I can go up here. There it is. Okay. Now, I can go up here to equalizer. Okay, and I have a 3-band or a 10-band receive and transmit. So now, to turn the audio back up. All right. I can boost the lows. Listen to that. Now listen to the difference.
It's on a 40-foot long boom, so it's even a much longer boom, but with full-size elements, aluminum, good. Oh yeah.
Now see, by boosting their lows, I can get that signal to really punch in through the noise. All right, so let's turn this down so you don't have to hear all that. So I can use the equalizer to boost the lows, or I can boost the highs. Which the mids right here, about 1K, is what really is where the white noise is. So, all right, and if I want to reset it, I go back to reset. All right, and the same thing for transmit. If I want to adjust the transmit equalizer, here's right here. So you don't have to have a W2IHY. It's right here. Okay. If you prefer to have that, so be it. I don't even know how you'd hook that up with this, but I'm sure there's a way. So preamp for receive and transmit. Okay. And you would have to enable this here to manipulate the transmit EQ. 3-band if you want to keep it simple. 10-band if you want to make it advanced. All right. And what else? Well, there's memories. You can save memories in here. Just clicking add, you can add the frequency, the step, all that stuff for memories. If you have a favorite HF net you get on, you can do that. So there's other stuff in here. A transverter. There is CW memories and keyboard. Now, I guess this is for automatic typing in, and it'll put it out in CW. All right. Could be pretty cool. You can see that's choking my computer out as we speak. So we'll shut that off. So, you know, a lot of stuff here that's very interesting. And I won't go making a QSO on here just because, you know, to find one and to do all that, it might be a little boring for you. My main demonstration here was to get you familiar and see exactly what this does. And believe me, there's a lot more than what I've showed you. Okay, a lot of stuff that you can do here. And here's the good thing about this. This will never go out of date. They can release firmware updates. So if they add features to the software, they can update the firmware. It'll add features. Say the 60-meter band changes. All you have to do is download the updated firmware, and it'll reprogram the channelized 60-meter band. So there's not a way for this to go expired here. And believe me, if they come out with new features and you're into using all those features, well, I'm sure you'll make full use of it once you download the firmware and the software. If the software changes, they'll update that for you. Split frequencies are possible. Everything that's possible with an HF radio plus tenfold. All right. So I hope that gave you a little demonstration into this on what you can do, and maybe I'll make some more videos on this if I get some time. You can also use this for quick recording. If you want to make a beacon or contesting, you can record your voice so you don't have to say it over and over again, just like my Yaesu FT450 has. So what I like real quick about this tune button is if I click tune, it sends out a carrier so that my MFJ auto tuner will automatically tune. So it sends out a low power carrier. My auto tuner picks that up, tunes it to the band, we're done. So thank you to the MFJ auto tuner for that technology. So I hope you liked it, and please rate and comment and ask questions. I'll see what I can do to help you out. Thanks to Gigaparts for the demo on this, and check out Gigaparts for all the accessories you'll need for this and the great price they have. 7.3 from KJ4YZI.